Hey everyone, it's Eric and I'm here with your new moon reading, and I'll be using my self-published deck Shadowlight Tarot. So I want to dive into this to see whatever messages come up for each of the 12 signs of the zodiac. Now we're going to take a look into the generalization of things, so depending on whether you have it as your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, Venus, or however you'd like to interpret it, depending on how astrologically inclined you may be, it is there to present the message. So for those who are generally looking for a reading, you may look for your sun sign to interpret what you're going through, what you're feeling. And then you can take that even further by watching your moon sign, in which case you'll have an understanding of yourself internally and what you're processing in terms of an emotional level. When you look at it for your rising example, that is pretty much how the world's coming through you or how others perceive you. Think of it, it's the cone in which you yourself, your light of your being of the sun, is expressed through. Now you can take this even further if you're interested in seeing a relationship aspect. Venus is usually associated with how we connect with others. That would be a good example to see what is going on in your relationship sector. But take it as you please, as each of the signs are only able to provide so much. So if you can take that and then compare it to see what you're going through, it may provide some insight for you on your journey. So take this for what it is. I'm here doing my thing, and I thank you for your appreciation, for your time to actually check this out. So let's begin with these readings. Next up, we have ourselves Taurus. Let's reshuffle and see what comes up. So Taurian's energy. Now, what is interesting, before I stumble on that word, about Taurians is that many Taurians right now aren't aware that you actually have Uranus pretty dang close to your constellation, and it's going through it as we speak. Now this is talking about a lot of out of nowhere type of energies, because not everyone's going to be able to pick up on that, because it really has to be out of nowhere. If you see it coming, it's not out of nowhere. So we're here to deal with that in a slow way, and that's being disrupted for a long-term period. Since this is a very outer planet, we're looking at a cycle that is going to take on a lot of years to really progress. So it's something you'll understand in goodwill time, but it's probably impacting a lot of people as we speak. So Taurians, let's take a look at what's going on for your, not only your new moon, but going into the full moon, and as you develop through this cycle. So we are seeing that you too also have this waiting period. It's not so simple that you got to get to where you're going. It's really surprising that the first card out of both shuffles end up being the same card for two signs in a row. So whether if you're dealing with an Aries or there's an Aries association, that yes, you too have to take a little bit of this patient medicine to realize what's going on. So let's take a look at understanding that we didn't shuffle as well as I thought I did. And that's, maybe I did. I just didn't didn't do that right. Sorry about that. We had a passing tractor. Being out in the mountains, you got a lot of farming, so it happens. Anyway, sorry about that. So back to your reading. So for our Taurians this month, we are understanding that the messages that are being brought about are telling you to actually take a look inside to see who you really are. This is a meditative period. We're looking at the Four of Swords, and it's hard to focus because it's on manual at the moment, so I can't really do it up too close, but we're looking at the Four of Swords here, which is night meditating after a period, a journey, to truly understand where it is and who he is and where he wants to proceed next. This is always important for any part of your journey, because you're going to actually have to understand that inner voice of yours and what it is it's trying to tell you. It's always important, because what comes through us is very soulful. So we're looking at hope. Hope is very important. You got to have hope, Because things are looking at this hopeful period, we're looking at the Star card, which means that it's not always going to happen just yet, but it's coming. It's going to take a while, but it's on its way. The thing is that if you got to have the hope, then you know that one point you're going to be there. And if it's not giving that journey a chance, then it's providing the opportunity to allow yourself to hold out or to persevere through whatever it is you're going through. Because of that moment of that hope there, that something there is waiting, something there is ready to be abundant, something there is ready to be experienced. It's coming. Now, right now, you're in this state of romance where you want to be able to work with the people you're with, and it seems that you're coming from a very heartful, generous, very loving fashion. You want to be able to deliver on this, and at the same time, too, you know very well what it is to tender, to love, to care. And you're going to set this into motion, a new Ace of Cups. This Ace of Cups is giving you the opportunity to love again, to provide yourself a new way of feeling, a new way of experiencing a form of love, whether it's through yourself or through another. This is going to provide a way of being able to understand you and what you're going through in a whole new light as well. Speaking of whole new light, we're arriving at the Sun card. The Sun is providing that light. This is the light of importance, meaning that the light that comes from who you are as a being, the uniqueness that you're here to express out into the world. That is important. So important that you have to take this into consideration, that we are ourselves and we're not able to allow other people to live for us, but it is up to us to be able to bring that. And if we have a vision, if we have a sense of uniqueness that truly is something that is worth giving a shot, then yes, you yourself have to believe in the opportunity to nurture yourself and take you where you need to go. And you're going to get yourself to a stable spot where you're going to be able to own and be in your domain, to provide and have that stability that is important for anybody who's willing to see that these things are key to being truly who the best of your being. So we got a sense of community. You have support. You have people who are there for you. You have people who are actually caring for you and understanding you, and this companionship, this friendship, this community sense. They're showing you that you don't have to do it alone, and that what you're going through is something that is unique to you, but that does not mean that you're alone in it. We're looking at the ability to be able to hone your fire, to hone it in what it is that you want to drive into being. This idea, this passion-driven concept is going to take you into the very essence of what it is. And it seems that things might be not in the best of places right now, and you might not have everything that you want, and it might just feel like someone's taking things from you. And there's a lot of things outside control, because control is something where you cannot change what others do, but you can be aware of it to take into consideration what you do there forward. Now, it is up to us to really act on it, and sometimes that's a very touchy sense in what we're navigating through, because this card here is actually the card that actually precedes this card in the deck, which is actually giving it another double meaning. So we're actually taking from the concept that this is the image that is important, where there's something that is being taken away, and now there's a period of time where you have to navigate through blindfolded this period which is uncertain, and that it does not provide safety, that does not provide security, yet it is needed for you so that you can have solid ground. One day the blindfold will be taken off, in which case you'll be glad you decided to proceed instead of being held back. And that's why it's important to work together. Working with other people is going to help get you there. Being able to communicate and understand that some things you can do, but others are able to do it in a sense that comes natural to them. So you have to let them do that. You have to let them understand that you are a unique ingredient to a larger recipe that is unfolding right now. And you're going to get through this moon with the sense of a heartache that something's in a loss. It's not always going to be simple, and you're reaching that completion. This completion is going to be something where it just feels like you're just ready just to let the weight off, get it off your shoulders, and when you sit down and relax after a long journey, it hits you, and it's something that is going to give you a sense to appreciate what it is that you truly care about, what it is that you truly want to love and cherish and really create in the world, and that's your own seed. That's where you're going to go. That's something that's important to you. So what do you want to take away from this message right now? The idea that you really are able to create your own reality. And if you do not, then you are holding yourself back from being able to do the things that you want to do in life. Okay? Taurians sometimes are slow and steady. And sometimes that earth symbol is very important for giving us stability, stableness, a sense of just appreciating spring for what it is. But we're all made up of different resonances, and it each takes time to do that.